Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
This is the closing bell on the Stock Movers Report. The companies making moves at the close of U.S. trading with Carol Massar, Tim Stenovec, Romaine Bostick, and Scarlett Fu.
You've got most names in the S&P lower, 313 losing ground on this Fed decision eve, if you will, 188 to the upside, 2 unchanged.
How do you celebrate? Do you put like little stockings up over your desk?
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
Little dollar bills, little treasury bills.
There you go. I plug in my money printer. Let's take a look at the sector level.
Remember that song? Yeah.
As well. You have the circle there. It's pretty much an even split, maybe weighted a little bit more to the red. The energy sector was your bright spot today, up about 1.7%. You can see that tech overall was red. Utilities was your biggest loser on the day, though. That sector down about 1.8%. All told, 5 green, 6 red, Carol.
All right, so let's get to some of the individual gainers. Had to quick switch in Oracle after that headline crossed the Bloomberg. The Wall Street Journal coming out and saying U.S. investors, including Oracle, Silver Lake, and Andreessen Horowitz, would control TikTok's U.S. business, according to people familiar. Sounds like there's a lot to be figured out and an interesting entity in terms of the board and who does what and who owns what. But we talked to our Brad Stone about it. He said there's like maybe some friction when it comes to maybe users ultimately signing on with it.
Just to be clear, Carol, I mean, so the Chinese have agreed to this? Is that the idea?
I get that's what it seems to say. But it's kind of odd because, it sounds like 80% owned by investors. I think there's still a Chinese position in this U.S. entity. It sounds like there's maybe some new algorithms. There's a lot that makes me, I don't know, a lot of questions.
We spoke to Brad Stone about this earlier, and he said if people actually have to download a new app, like this looks like a pretty big win for a company like Meta Platforms or Alphabet that has YouTube that's done a good job with Instagram and YouTube Shorts kind of going into TikTok's territory. It's hard. That's friction, he said, to make users download a new app. So,
what if it's not as good as the old app,
of course,
right? Which everybody has loved in terms of the algorithm. What's interesting, too, and I think we had an earlier story on the Bloomberg about Oracle and their cloud contract that they had with TikTok. And so maybe that's part of why we're seeing Oracle also higher. So TBD, more to be known. But nonetheless, Oracle popped up 1.5% in today's session. Want to mention Moderna as well. That went up about 4%. Higher, as the company says, its new COVID-19 formula of its Spikevax vaccine produced a strong immune response against the dominant variant that's out there. And so we've been getting some information on that. This is what, though, in this report I thought was interesting, guys. Company said CDC data from U.S. wastewater shows COVID-19 activity is high.
What?
Doesn't that make you feel good?
Do we not just get these numbers out of the CDC?
You're so, you're on fire here. Hey, Tesla up almost 3% in today's session, continuing to gain. I think moving up to its highest level since about late January. And this is despite the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration opening investigation into whether some Tesla vehicle doors are defective. It's a really scary story that's out there, but nonetheless, stock is up 6 days in a row for a gain of about 21%, and up about 4% year to date. So investors continuing to move into Tesla, Tim.
Okay, you got the gainers, I got the decliners. I want to start with Warner Brothers Discovery, actually falling today, 6.2%. Shares fell after TD Cowen downgraded to hold from buy after the stock rallied, even as Paramount still has not made an official offer for this company. Separately, Senator Elizabeth Warren earlier this morning, Democrat of Massachusetts, posted on X that the Paramount-Warner Brothers deal should be blocked.
Can I give you some intel? We had Laura Martin over at Needham on, and she mentioned something that I had kind of was lost to me, and it was about David Zaslav's recent contract and how he actually stands to make, in her words, it was something upwards of like $400 million if he does broker a sale above $17 a share for Warner Brothers by the end of next year.
Okay. Shares right now $18.25.
Yeah.
Some would say he's really good with his contracts.
I was going to say, it's not the first time he's had a windfall in his career.
I know. Yeah, he's a savvy guy.
Yeah, he really is. Hey, taking a look at a stock that actually moved quite low early in the session, especially before the markets opened. It fell as much as 4%. Ralph Lauren today only falling by 0.4%. The company did come out and say that it sees revenue growth remaining similar to recent rates over the next 3 years. This according to the company's latest strategic outlook. The company's projecting sales to grow at mid-single-digit percentage annually through fiscal 2028, according to a statement out today. It's roughly in line with estimates from analysts compiled by Bloomberg, but it's also slower than the company has posted in recent quarters.
Yeah, my niece was in town. I took her to the Ralph Lauren, the coffee shop there on Madison Avenue, and she wanted a hat. It was like $60 for a baseball.
And so you got her two?
I don't know, but I mean, you can imagine the markup on that?
Hey, come on, you know about fancy dressing.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't. I'm just a humble.
You didn't buy her the hat?
Humble man.
Yeah, we've seen those,
Yeah, I shop at Burlington.
Finally, the New York Times.
Not that there's anything wrong with Burlington.
The New York Times down 1.6% today. Watching shares of the New York Times all day today after the president early this morning said he filed a $15 billion defamation suit against the company, as well as Penguin Random House, accusing the paper of serving as a, quote, mouthpiece for the Democrats. The New York Times said in a statement the lawsuit has no merit and is an attempt to stifle and discourage independent reporting, and the Times will not be deterred by intimidation tactics. By the way, the market cap, $9.5 billion for the New York Times. The defamation lawsuit, $15 billion.
All right, let's keep an eye on where rates went. And, of course, rates went where we expected them to go. Down once again here in anticipation of what everyone seems to expect is going to be a rate cut tomorrow, but more importantly, the start of a rate cutting cycle. We had a couple of people on earlier today who kind of talked about this idea. It's not just going to be 25 in September that we could get. I think it was Barry Knapp, right, Katie, who said we could actually get 100 basis points between now and end of January.
That's what he would like to see.
Yes. Yeah.
TBD.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.